The Indianapolis Police Department and the Marion County Sheriff's Department have developed domestic violence units trained specifically to respond to families dealing with this issue.
The main reason it's important to have a specially trained unit interceding in domestic violence is I like to think we serve as kind of a mobile warehouse of information for the officers, for the victims, for the community in general.
When the uniformed guys are dispatched to a residence that's calling for help, when they initially hit the scene and find out what's going on, and they can say, okay, let's video this, or let's take a camera.
In the past, a lot of domestic violence cases basically came to court with he said, she said situations, and you can't make a ruling on that. So now that we're providing them with the tools that, having the evidence collection, the photographs, the clothing, the broken furniture, the witnesses, makes it a lot easier.
The way the prosecutor's office is working now, sometimes cases come through where we can just use the officer's testimony and the photos, and the victims actually don't have to participate. They have to be there in court, but that kind of helps them say, well, okay, at least someone's here to help me, and I can feel just a little bit stronger than I was before.
It's easy to sit and say, well, you should just leave. But there's so many factors that are going to affect that, whether it's you caring for the person still, economic factors, religiously maybe you're taught to stay in that situation. Whatever the reasons are that you may be staying, if nothing else, then some type of documentation. Now, of course, the higher end of documentation is making a police report. But the lower end could be keeping a journal, keeping a friend apprised of what's going on, I've had victims that have secretly taken photos of when they've had injuries and writing a date on it and squirreling it away somewhere. A lot of victims don't want to go to a shelter, and I advise them to do so, even if it's just short term, because it's a controlled situation. If you go to mom's house or you go to a hotel or wherever avenue you try to take to get away from your home, you can be tracked there, and that doesn't mean that you have any kind of level of security because there's no one there to look out for you, to protect you.
We want to make sure that you're always safe. And by being safe is somewhere where no one can get to you. You can have peace of mind. You can think about what's going on without being worried that someone's going to drive by your house or come and kick in your door, or that the abuser's going to be able to find you. They're going to go to all your friends. They're going to go to your girlfriend's house. They're going to go to the grocery store that you go to. They're going to go to where you work at, because that's a pattern. When you disrupt that pattern and go to somewhere outside of your regular life, and you go somewhere where you're protected, then that's when everything can start healing.
Protective orders are another way the legal system can help people who face domestic abuse. There is no charge when filing for a protective order, and it's not necessary to have an attorney. Once a protective order is in place, law enforcement can take action if it is violated.
We can get into our computer system and run the actual protective order up and say, well, you have no business being here, so we can arrest you.
Each time that I left, I did go get a protective order. I felt like it was absolutely necessary because I didn't know what to expect from my abuser. It really made me feel a lot safer.
Up next, why it's important for employers to take a no-tolerance stance on domestic violence.